What's going on? Well, this morning I got up and mounted my Tusk Waypoint Adventures on my Bartubeless wheels, and I went in, had lunch, got a second wind. I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw the wheels and tires on the Himalayan. Quick thoughts on these Bartubeless. They are interesting and they work, and I haven't had any problems with them. They don't leak. I put a tube in the 21 inch that I just put on because it's not a tubeless tire. It probably would have been fine running it as a tubeless tire, but you know, the front tire is definitely not one you want to have a catastrophic failure on. The biggest disadvantage with the Bartubeless tires is that center section of the rim being filled in with sealant and a band. And that, if you're into changing your own tires, which I am, that makes the process of changing a tire much more difficult, because you just can't get the beat of the tire down in that groove to, give you the space to pop the tire on the wheel. Those of you that change your own wheels, you'll know what I'm talking about. Changing wheels or tires on motorcycles is 99.9% technique. It's not hard. It's just a matter of knowing how to manipulate the tire around the rim so that it goes on easier, right? Anyway, are they worth the cost? I'm gonna go with a no. I think you're much better buying a set of rims, just the wheels. I bought a set from Amazon. I bought some Takasago XL. Let's look at them. Yeah, so I bought Takasago XL wheels, just the wheel, just the section, and I relaced them using the Himalayan spokes, hubs. Everything from here out to the wheel itself is stock, right? So I disassembled the wheel, got rid of the metal wheels from Royal Enfield, and installed these aluminum wheels, and saved about half the weight. Whatever the weight was of the assembly before the aluminum wheels, it's half that now. I don't remember the exact number. I did the same thing on the rear. I think I picked this rim up off of Amazon for, I want to say it's $125. The back one was maybe $130. And I did the work myself, so I saved money there. But a shop, if you can't do it yourself, a shop wouldn't charge you that much, I don't believe, to lace up a couple of rims. I mean, it's something we used to do all the time when I worked in the shops. Relacing wheels was a thing, I don't know if it's a lost art with all these mag wheels, but I'm sure there's still enough dirt bikes out there that keep these mechanics in the loop on changing out rims to create a wheel. Anyway, yeah, I think you're much better off doing this. It's way cheaper. It's not going to be tubeless, but I'm on a bike like this or a bike like my DRZ. Tubeless to me is, I think people look too much into that. With the proper rim setup and tires, fixing or patching a tube is not that big of a deal. For one, they're a lot easier to get off the rim, tube type tires. And you can always carry a tube. You're going to carry a tube anyway, even with your tubeless, because that's a fix if you have to go that far. But I'm here to tell you that a tubed tire or a tubeless tire mounted on a tubeless rim is very difficult to work with. Your only options in the field are going to be to plug it, right? If you have to take it off the rim, you're going to be cursing. It's much easier to take tube type wheels or tires off of wheels than it is tubeless tires off of wheels. So yeah, I mean, maybe like on a bike like my GS, obviously tubeless is the way to go. The rims are designed for it. Those tires pop right on and off those wheels, no problem whatsoever. But I think on a dirt bike or even a dual sport, I'm not sure tubeless really matters that much. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm old school. I mean, we didn't have tubeless tires on anything, much less dirt bikes, right? But yeah, let's those are my thoughts on the Bartubeless. I don't think they're worth it. The price is high. The difficulty in changing tires is 3 times, 4 times more difficult than just changing tires on a rim that still allows you to utilize the cavity here to get the bead down in there to lever the tire on. And getting tires off is really difficult. I don't know. I'm just not sure it's worth it. I might just go back to a regular tube type front and rear and, you know, go with that. And something else I noticed on the, I mean, I hate to contradict engineers, but this is the 2-track, right? The Tusk 2-track. Let's zoom out a little bit. Here we go. The rotation seems backwards to me. They have it rotating that way, digging with a scoop, which, you know, that's probably the way to go in the sand or soft dirt. But on pavement, you're forcing water to the middle. You know what I mean? And there's no, I don't know, it seems weird. Every tire I've ever seen, the chevron portion goes that way. As you rotate onto the pavement, whether it's wet or dry, but more I'm thinking in regards to the pavement being wet with standing water, you want to be able to shed the water, you know, out, right? The chevrons always go that way. I don't know, weird. They have the marks going the other way to create like a scoop effect, which that's understandable too for off-road, right? But kind of weird for on-road. I don't know. Let's swap these wheels out. That's enough talking. So the Himalayan is pretty simple for the front, right? Yeah, take off the nut, loosen the pinch nut, tap the axle out, front tire's off. Only thing is to be careful when you're reassembling is lining up the speedometer drive and making sure you have a brake pad on each side of your disc. People laugh, but I've seen it. Okay, let's, I'm gonna have to take this ABS ring and this disc off of here and put it on that wheel. Stand by. Okay, I'm a grease guy, but yeah, I know these are sealed bearings, but you know what? Grease can help prevent seals from drying out, and I use waterproof marine bearing grease. So hopefully it can actually help prevent water from getting, if it does get past the seal, keep it from getting inside the bearing past the bearing seal, right? Anyway, can't hurt. There's really no point in greasing this axle because the axle doesn't spin. The bearing race here is seated on the axle. The spinning action is the ball bearings. But I do put a light coat of oil on it just so that next time it pops right out. Corrosion is your enemy. Quick check to see if the speedo's hooked. Yeah, it's working. Cool. Okay, front's on. Brake works. Axle torqued and then pinch bolt torqued. Good to go. Onto the rear. Okay, I think we are go for launch. Bike's kind of fun to work on. So simple, so easy. It's what makes it, you know, a really good beginner bike too. I hate saying beginner bike, but someone who's just getting into motorcycles, you can figure out your maintenance on this guy. Valves are super simple. Chain adjustment, tire changes, all really easy. There we go, Bartubeless wheels with Tusk Adventure tires. We got Waypoint on the front, and what is that? Called the 2-track on the rear, right? Yep. Well, time for a test drive, I guess. Well, I had to add a couple more things before we could wrap this up. I mounted my knoblin into my Tusk rack in the back here. I basically took a Tusk aluminum plate and mounted it to the stock Himalayan bracket here, and then drilled a hole under here for my knoblin, which secures this or my Moscow Moto Rackless 80. And then up front here, put the tool bag on the front fender. Check the air pressures to make sure they're still holding air, and it's all looking good. So yeah, definitely now it is time for a test ride. Fun little bike. Supposed to have rain this week, so I don't know. But with the time changing, it stays daylight now longer in the afternoon, so there's going to be more motorcycle commuting as soon as the rain clears up. It shouldn't take too long. It doesn't rain much in California, at least not normally. You guys have a good one, and I will catch you later.